Culture, its origin, classic definition, and pertinent meaning. Origin of culture. The word culture comes directly from the Latin cultus, meaning care or cultivation. This initial meaning was primarily agricultural, or referring to the tending and nurturing of crops. During the 18th century Enlightenment, thinkers like Voltaire and Herder began using culture to differentiate between civilized and uncivilized societies. And in the 19th century Enlightenment, Edward Tylor, a pioneering anthropologist, provided a foundational definition of culture in his book Primitive Culture. He defined it as that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, moral, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by men as a member of a society. This definition recognized the shared and learned aspects of human behavior and encompassed a broad range of elements. Another influential anthropologist challenged Tylor's universalistic approach. Franz Boas emphasized the importance of studying cultures within their specific historical and environmental context. But today, the concept of culture in anthropology is multifaceted and dynamic. Classic definition of culture. The classic definition of culture is often attributed to Edward Tylor's definition. Knowledge. This refers to the accumulated information, skills, and understanding shared by members of a culture. It encompasses everything from practical knowledge about the environment and survival to more abstract knowledge about philosophy, religion, and mathematics. Beliefs. These are the shared ideas and convictions that members of a culture hold to be true. They can be religious, spiritual, philosophical, or simply based on common sense. Art. This encompasses the creative expression of a culture, including literature, music, dance, painting, sculpture, and other forms of artistic expression. Law. This refers to the system of rules and regulations that govern a society. It defines acceptable behavior and provides mechanisms for resolving disputes and maintaining order. Customs. These are traditional practices and rituals that are observed by members of a culture. They can be related to everyday life, social interactions, religious ceremonies, or other events. Morals. These are the principles and standards of behavior that the culture considers to be right or wrong. They guide people's actions and decisions and contribute to social order and cohesion. Culture is not innate but acquired and transmitted through learning and socialization. Culture is shared by members of a group and transmitted from generation to generation. Pertinent meaning of culture. Culture as a shared system. It refers to the shared knowledge, beliefs, values, and practices that guide the behavior of members of a group. This definition is relevant when discussing topics like social norms, intergroup relations, and cultural identity. Culture as a dynamic process. It acknowledges that cultures are constantly evolving through individual agency, innovation, and adaptation to external influences. This perspective is pertinent when discussing topics like cultural change, globalization, and the transmission of cultural heritage. Culture as a site of power and inequality. This perspective acknowledges that cultures are not monolithic entities and often reflect power structures and inequalities within communities. It highlights the need to critically examine how cultural practices can perpetuate discrimination, exclusion, and social injustice.